Hello everyone, happy Friday. I have a Sequin Secrets video for you today. This also coincides with this day's Scraptember prompt, which is a pattern paper background. I am going to be using this amazing cut file from Cut to You. This is one of the Cut of the Month files, which is her monthly cut file subscription. It is very inexpensive and just a fabulous way to infuse a little something new into your stash every month. I am going to start my layout by backing my cut file. I am going to ink up just some plain white cardstock, and I'm not even inking up the whole piece of cardstock because I want to use this to back my cut file with. This is a super fun, easy way to get some color behind a cardstock, behind a cut file, without needing to go looking high and low for like the perfect blue and the perfect anything, whatever color. I am going to use some Uncharted Mariner, Faded Jeans, and Stormy Sky Distress Oxide ink, and I am going to go ahead and kind of use that little oxidation to be able to get some fun little droplets on my papers. And now I'm going to go ahead and back my cut files. So I'm going to back my cut file in a couple different ways. I'm going to back some of the letters in black. I'm going to back some of the letters in those papers that I used all the Distress Oxide inks on. And I'm also going to back some of the cut file in white. And then some of those little arrows I'm just going to leave plain. So I'm just going to go ahead, I'm going to trace out all these different parts of the cut file and go ahead and back them all up. For reasons I'm going to try to not even comprehend, this is how my phone recorded this part of the video. I don't know why. But anyway, I'm going to add some sequin details to my cut file. So all of the pieces that I backed with white cardstock, I'm now going to fill in with a nice thin layer of glossy accents. And then I'm going to take these gorgeous Silver Stardust sequins from Spiegel Mom Scraps. I'm going to kind of fill in, push those sequins down, make sure that as many sequins as possible are attached to the glossy accents, and I'm going to kind of shake them off the way you do embossing powder and let it dry. Couple of tips and tricks for this. Number one, make sure that before you start doing this, the glue that you've used to back your cut file is completely 100% dry. Next, just use a very small amount of glossy accents. A light coating will do you. You don't need a lot. Another thing you want to do is remember that glossy accents is another medium that needs to dry. So while you will shake off the sequins here, don't touch them now. Just let it dry. Let all the glossy accents adhere to all the sequins. And then before you start scrapbooking with this cut file, shake, shake, shake. I'm even going to hit it with a paintbrush here. Get every loose bit of sequin off of your cut file. After the glossy accents have dried, anything that is not adhered to the glossy accents will fall off. Anything that is on the glossy accents is adhered down and will never come off again. Once everything is thoroughly dry, you are ready to go. Now, this is a stash dive layout. I went through my stash and I grabbed lots of fun things I thought would match my page. I'm not going to use them all, but you know, I needed options. First of all, we need to pick out a background paper. So I'm going to go with this one because I really, really like it. This one would have worked maybe, but it would have required a lot of, I would have had to cover a lot of that background up. So we're going to go with this one. This is pattern paper from Jen Hadfield. It is the fall collection she did, I believe, last year, and I can't remember what it's called. But it worked so well with my cut file, made everything off this page pop. And what I want to do is I want to utilize that branding strip. So I am going to chop it off, and then I'm going to adhere it to the bottom of my page. Next, I'm going to cut myself a mat for my photo. I am in the process right now of finishing 100% my 2019 family albums. So I am going through all my 2019 photos, making sure that I have everything printed, all the photos and stories I want told. I've bought all the albums. I'm filling them up. So you will see some 2019 photos coming during September, because by the end of September, I want my 2019 photos finished. So any opportunity I have, and I have very few left to do, like so few left to do. I am going to go ahead and get my cut file on my page as well as my photo. FYI, yes, there are tiny little sequin stars all over my craft table. I tried to clean them up to the best of my ability, but I swear it's like glitter, and I just left it go. So you'll see me kind of flick glitter away, but just know that that glitter is from me putting the glitter on the cut file. The glitter that's actually attached to the cut file is not shedding. It's all right. You can do this. And if you use larger sequins with this technique, you would totally get some more, you would get like better results. Probably, maybe, I don't know. I really wanted to use these little silver stars though, but they are a little bit too much like glitter. So this is probably the closest thing to glitter you're ever going to see in my craft room. FYI, there are still silver stars on my craft table. I am right now, as I do this voiceover, still picking tiny little silver stars off of my craft table. Fun times, fun times. All of the embellishments I'm using today are from deep diving into my stash. So I'm not 100%, I know most of these aren't available anymore. The flare probably is. These die cuts are old die cuts from Feed Your Craft. The labels are from Kelly Perky, and the flares are from, it's not Dowdy About Flare anymore. It's called the Flare Hut. I believe Adam switched the name of his flare store. Anyway, they're Galaxy Flare from the Flare Hut / Dotty About Flare. That's where those super cute flares are from. It's been a while since I've dipped into my Dotty About Flare stash, and I was really excited to have these beautiful options available to me because they're beautiful. No one does flare quite like Adam over at the Flare Hut. They're beautiful. Now, that's not to say that's just regular flare. Like, that's not the epoxy flares from Scrap and Happy Studio or the canvas flares from Scrap and Happy Studio. There are different kinds of flares here, guys. So if you want just flare, like regular flare, I would say Dotty About Flare. If you want epoxy flare, which is those thin flares that I use all the time and love, or the gorgeous canvas flares, those are Scrap and Happy Studio. Makes sense? Kinda? Sorta? Okay? All right. Apparently I was thinking about stamps at this point. I rifled through my stash, pulled out this quite older set of Boy Mom stamps, and I am going to go ahead and stamp a couple of the cute sayings on some of these Kelly Perky tags. I am stamping on these labels. They're not tags, they're labels. I'm stamping on these labels using Altenew permanent black ink because these have a glossy finish to them, and I need like a really good kind of solvent-based ink or they're not going to stamp nice. And now it's time to stick and plunk. So I'm using my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive on the areas where I want the layer the die cuts on top of my sequins, and then I'm going to use some tabby dots from Spiegelman Scraps to adhere all of my flares. And while I'm adhering all of this down, the my labels are drying, which is very important because again, those kind of glossy areas need to dry a little bit. And ta-da! We're all finished. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a fabulous Friday and a wonderful weekend. I will be back with videos this weekend. I took kind of a midweek break this week because that's just how the schedule worked out. So I hope that you will give this a try, backing a cut file with beautiful sequins for a pop of something unexpected. And I will see you again very soon. Also, I believe Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life is joining me today, and I will link her channel down below. And yeah, I hope you have a great weekend, guys. Bye.